The scream tore through the newsroom like a live wire snapping in a storm. Raw, electric, ending in a sickening thud that echoed up the glass facade of the Daily Herald building. I froze at my desk, coffee mug shattering on the linoleum, as the whole floor rushed to the windows, phones buzzing with the horror we'd all just witnessed. Lena Voss, the sharp-tongued investigative reporter who'd clawed her way to the top, plummeting 20 stories to the pavement below. But it wasn't the fall that gutted me. It was the call from Elena an hour later, her voice a whisper over the line. "Charlie, I need you to come home. We're done." No explanation, just those words, heavy as the rain starting to pound Manhattan streets, washing away the blood, but not the secrets we'd buried for years. I raced through the downpour, tires hydroplaning on Broadway, my mind replaying Lena's face from the window, pale, resolute, eyes locked on something invisible before she stepped off. Elena and I had built our life on the Upper West Side, a cozy brownstone with creaky floors and bookshelves sagging under journalism awards we'd chased together. She was my anchor, the woman who'd pulled me from the wreckage of my own ambitions 5 years ago, when I was just another cub reporter grinding through all nights. Our wedding in the Catskills had been a quiet affair, vows exchanged under maples turning fire red, her hand steady in mine as we promised forever. But now, as I fumbled with the key in the lock, that forever felt like a lie cracking open. Elena sat on the living room rug, knees drawn to her chest, the divorce papers already inked and folded on the coffee table like a grenade with a pin pulled. Her dark curls were tangled, eyes red-rimmed but dry, as if she'd cried out every tear years ago. "Charlie," she said, not looking up, "I can't do this anymore. The guilt. It's eating me alive." Guilt? My stomach twisted. Lena's death wasn't just a tragedy ripping through our newsroom family. It was a ghost from Elena's past, one I'd always sensed but never named. We'd met Lena together at a press conference 3 years back, Elena stiffening beside me, her laugh too bright when Lena cracked a joke about corrupt mayors. I'd chalked it up to old rivalries, two rising stars who'd shared bylines before Elena left the grind for freelance life. But as sirens wailed outside, carrying Lena away in a body bag, I realized the truth. Lena hadn't jumped alone. She carried Elena with her, all the way down. I dropped to my knees beside her, the carpet rough under my palms, reaching for her hand. She pulled away, gentle but firm, like she was afraid my touch would shatter her. "What happened up there, Elena? Why her? Why now?" My voice cracked, the hook of fear lodging deeper. Because if Lena's fall was the spark, our marriage was the tinder, dry and waiting to ignite. She finally met my eyes, those hazel depths I'd drowned in 1,000 times, and whispered, "It's not what you think. But if I tell you, you'll hate me. And I can't lose you to hate, Charlie. Not after everything." The rain hammered the windows like accusations, and in that moment I knew our story wasn't over. It was just beginning to unravel, thread by bloody thread. That night, sleep evaded us both. Elena retreated to the guest room, the door clicking shut like a final edit on our life together. I lay in our bed, sheets cold without her warmth, staring at the ceiling fan's lazy spin. Memories flooded in unbidden. Elena's laughter at our first date, a dive bar in Hell's Kitchen where she'd sketched caricatures of pompous editors on napkins, her pencil flying as she declared, "Journalism's a battlefield, Charlie. You gotta love fierce or get out." I'd fallen for her then, hard and fast, a butch-presenting woman in her early 30s with a buzz cut that said "I don't back down," softened only by the way she'd blush when I called her my poet. We were both lesbians navigating the cutthroat world of New York media, where coming out meant trading whispers for bylines, but we'd carved out our space. Potlucks with queer friends in Brooklyn lofts, weekend hikes upstate where we'd hold hands without fear. But Lena, God, Lena had always been the shadow. I'd first heard her name in a tipsy confession over wine, 6 months into our courtship. "She was my fire," Elena had said, swirling her Merlot. "Back in our 20s, when we were both starving artists chasing scoops in Chicago. Intense, you know? Like a storm you can't look away from. I'd pressed for details, jealousy flickering like a faulty bulb, but Elena had kissed me silent, murmuring, "That's ancient history, love. You're mine now." I'd believed her, or wanted to, enough to propose with a ring engraved, "Type forever," slipping it on her finger during a sunset ferry ride around the island. Now, in the witching hours, doubt gnawed. Had Lena's despair been a cry Elena ignored? Or worse, had their history reignited, a clandestine flame threatening our hearth? By dawn, the newsroom called me back. Emergency meeting, statements to draft, the machine of tragedy grinding on. I dressed in my usual armor, crisp button-down, slacks that hid the tremble in my legs, and kissed Elena's forehead through the guest room door. "We'll talk tonight," I promised, my voice steadier than I felt. She nodded, a ghost of a smile, and I left, the brownstones' stairs echoing my heartbeat. The Herald's bullpen was a war zone of lowered voices and flickering screens, coffee breath mingling with the metallic tang of shock. My editor, grizzled Tom Riley, clapped a hand on my shoulder as I logged in. "Charlie, you're on obit duty. Make it human, Lena deserved that."
Human.
I swallowed bile, pulling up her file. Lena Voss, 34, trailblazer in exposing Wall Street frauds, out and proud since her first op-ed at 22. Photos showed her grinning at galas, arms slung around colleagues, Elena conspicuously absent from the later ones. Digging deeper, I found the byline they shared, a 2015 exposé on police brutality that won them a Pulitzer nomination. Co-written with Elena Marquez, the header read, and there it was, a grainy headshot of them together, arms linked, eyes alight with victory. My fingers hovered over the keys, the obit half-formed. Lena Voss didn't just report the truth, she lived it, fierce and unyielding. But the words blurred. Was this suicide random, or a punctuation to unfinished business? A quick search of internal emails, God, the perks of mid-level access, revealed a thread from last week. Lena to Elena, subject, "One last drink." Elena's reply, "Can't. You know why." Cryptic, cutting. My chest tightened. Whatever bridge they'd burned, it had smoldered enough to consume her. By lunch, rumors swirled. Lena's depression, whispers of burnout, a bad breakup with some tech exec. But I knew better. Elena's silence wasn't grief, it was guilt, layered thick as the fog rolling off the Hudson. I texted her. Found the email.
Talk to me.
No response. The afternoon dragged. Interviews with stunned reporters painting Lena as the unbreakable one. She mentored me through my coming out. One in turn sobbed, each tribute a knife twist, reminding me how little I'd known the woman who'd once held my wife's heart. Home by 7, the apartment smelled of takeout Thai, Elena's comfort food, a white flag. She was at the kitchen island, chopsticks poised over pad CEW, but her eyes were distant, fixed on the rain-smeared window. "Tiali, seat." Her tone brooked no argument. I did, fork in hand, waiting for the bomb. It dropped slow. Lena and I, we weren't just colleagues. In Chicago, she was everything. My first love, my mirror. We broke up because I couldn't handle the spotlight she craved, the way it consumed her. I ran to New York, to stability.
To you.
She paused, tears finally spilling. But she never stopped loving me. Last month, she showed up at my reading, drunk, begging for another chance. I said no, told her I was happy, married, whole. Harsh words, Charlie. The kind that echo. I reached for her then, no rejection this time, our fingers lacing like old habit. And the divorce? My voice was a rasp, fear coiling tight. Elena's gaze dropped. Because if I stay, you'll always wonder if I'm here for you, or just hiding from her ghost. I love you, God, I do, but Lena's death. It's forcing me to face that I never fully let go. Not of her. Not of that wild part of me you deserve to know. The confession hung, raw and romantic in its ruin, a hook pulling me deeper into the storm we'd weathered together. Outside, thunder rumbled, mirroring the quake in my soul, but in her touch, I felt the first spark of salvage, not an end, but a brutal, beautiful rewrite. We didn't sleep apart that night. Elena curled into me, her breath warm against my neck, confessions spilling like the rain beyond our curtains. Lena was chaos, she murmured, tracing patterns on my arm. Passionate, reckless. Nights chasing leads through South Side alleys, making love in her tiny studio with sirens wailing outside. She taught me to fight for stories, for us. But she also broke me, Charlie. Demanded I choose. Her or my sanity. I listened, heart aching with the vividness of it, jealousy mingling with empathy. In the dim lamplight, Elena's face was a map of regrets, fine lines around her eyes from squinting at screens, full lips parted in vulnerability. At 35, she was still the beauty who'd stolen my breath at that bar, but softer now, etched with the weight of choices. I pulled her closer, our bodies aligning in that familiar rhythm, kisses starting tentative, then fierce, a reclaiming. "You're not running anymore," I whispered against her skin, hands mapping the curves I'd memorized. "We're in this, ghosts and all." Lovemaking followed, slow and urgent, rain pattering like applause, bodies speaking what words couldn't, forgiveness in every gasp, love in the arch of her back. Afterward, tangled in sheets damp with sweat and tears, Elena traced my jaw. "You deserve the truth, all of it. Tomorrow, I'll show you the letters." The ones she sent after I left Chicago. Morning brought gray skies and resolve. Over coffee black as our moods, Elena handed me a shoebox from the closet, faded manila, labeled LV, in her neat script. Inside, postcards from Lena's travels, scribbled notes on cocktail napkins, a pressed four-leaf clover from their first hike. One letter, dated 2 years post-breakup, gutted me. "Elena, you think you're safe in that big city, playing house with your safe choices. But I see you in every byline, every shadow. Come back, or I'll burn it all down, including me."
Elena's face crumpled.
I ignored them, filed them away like bad copy. Thought distance would kill the fire. We spent the day sifting through, piecing Lena's unraveling, the scandals she'd chased turning inward, the bottles she'd hidden behind her wit, the isolation of being the it girl in a newsroom that chewed up queers like us. By evening, Elena's phone buzzed, a detective's number. "Ms. Marquez? We're looking into Voss's death. She left a note. Mentions you." My blood ran cold. Elena paled, nodding into the receiver. "I'll come in tomorrow." Hanging up, she turned to me, eyes pleading. "Charlie, if it's suicide," and my words pushed her. I cupped her face, fierce. "We'll face it. Together. No more secrets." The precinct was a fluorescent hell, stale coffee and echoing coughs. Elena gripped my hand as we sat across from Detective Ruiz, a no-nonsense Latina in her 40s with a rainbow pin on her lapel, small mercy in the machine. "The note's short," she said, sliding a plastic-sleeved paper across. Scrawled in Lena's looping script. "Elena, you win. Always did. No more shadows." Elena's sob broke free, shoulders shaking.
Ruiz softened.
"Look, we've seen this before. Burnout, unrequited love, it's a cocktail. But forensics say no foul play. Clean jump." Outside, under the awning as drizzle turned to downpour, Elena leaned into me. "She thought I won? God, Charlie, I lost her years ago." The weight of it pressed, but in the shared grief, something shifted, tenderness blooming amid the thorns. We walked home arm in arm, streets slick with reflected neon, stopping at our corner bodega for umbrellas and ice cream, a ritual of normalcy. That night, over melting scoops on the fire escape, Elena opened up fully. The abortion she'd had at 25, Lena's insistence on keeping the baby as our queer family, the fight that shattered them. "I chose myself," she said, voice raw. "And it haunts me." I held her as sobs racked her, my own tears silent. You chose life, Elena. For you, for us. Romance wove through the pain. Kisses tasting of vanilla and salt, promises murmured into hair. In that perch above the city, with horns blaring below, our love felt defiant, a headline we'd write our way. Two women, one heart, surviving the fall. Weeks blurred into a fragile routine. The newsroom mourned with vigils, candles flickering on the rooftop, queer activists chanting for mental health resources in media. I covered Lena's memorial, pen flying. She leaped not from weakness, but from depths we failed to plumb. Elena stayed home, drafting her freelance piece, a raw essay on love's long shadow, submitted anonymously to a queer-lit mag. Our marriage teetered, but therapy sessions twice weekly anchored us. Dr. Singh, a soft-spoken Sikh with a knack for untangling knots, coaxing out the rot. Guilt is a thief, she'd say. Reclaim your story. One session, Elena broke through. I want the divorce off the table, Charlie. Not because of pity, but because I see you, really see you. The woman who stayed when I pushed. My throat tightened, love surging like adrenaline. We celebrated with a drive to the Palisades, windows down, spring air whipping our hair. Picnicking on a bluff overlooking the river. Elena unpacked a blanket, wine, and that old shoebox, now a time capsule, not a curse. To Lena, she toasted, for teaching us to burn bright, without consuming. We made love under the stars, bodies urgent, souls sinking in a rhythm born of fire and ash. But drama lurked. A month post-jump, an envelope arrived, no return address, postmarked Chicago. Inside, a USB drive, labeled for Elena, Truth. My pulse raced as we plugged it in, Lena's voice filling the room. Video diary, raw and ragged. If you're watching, it means I couldn't hold on. Blame the job, the loneliness, but mostly you, Elena. You left and I chased ghosts. Clips of her life. Award speeches slurred with scotch, hookups that rang hollow, a final shot on that rooftop, wind howling. Tell Charlie I'm sorry. She got the best of you. Elena shattered, curling fetal on the couch. I held her through the night, whispering anchors. She released you, love. We're free. Dawn brought resolve. We donated the drive to a suicide prevention nonprofit, anonymized, turning pain to purpose. Our bond deepened, romantic in its resilience. Date nights at jazz clubs, where Elena's head on my shoulder drowned out sax wails. Lazy Sundays baking scones, flour-dusted kisses leading to bedroom tangles. Yet tension simmered. At a Herald gala, Elena froze. Lena's ex, the tech exec, cornered her. She died thinking you hated her. Words like venom, Elena's face draining. I pulled her away, into the coat room. Our argument hushed and heated. You can't carry this alone, I hissed. She fired back, and you can't fix me, Charlie. But fury faded to fervor, lips crashing, hands roaming under silk, passion's alchemy, turning rage to reconnection. Summer sweltered, our love a cool oasis. Elena's essay published to acclaim, sparking podcasts, invites to queer panels. We spoke together once, hands clasped on stage. Love isn't linear, I said, voice steady. It's leaps of faith, of letting go. Applause thundered, but her gaze held me, promising eternity. Fall leaves turned, anniversary nearing. I planned the Catskills redux, cabin, maples, rings renewed. But Elena surprised me first, a journal, pages filled with our story, drafted as a novel. For us, she said, and anyone who's loved through loss. Reading by firelight, tears fell, her words weaving our kinks, climaxes, quiet graces into something profound. On our hike, under those same trees, she knelt, not with a ring, but a vow. Charlie, you're my now, my always. No ghosts, just us. I pulled her up, kissing deep, the world fading to our pulse. We married again that night, a fish and a friend, stars witnesses. Sex followed in the cabin, wild and worshipful, bodies slick, cries echoing woods. Back in the city, life hummed. Promotions, pregnancies pondered via IVF dreams, a network of queer kin. Lena's shadow lingered, but softly now, a reminder of love's fragility, urging us to hold tighter. In our brownstone, nights ended entwined, whispers of tomorrow. We'd fallen far, but rose stronger. Two women, one unbreakable thread. The first anniversary post-renewal dawned crisp, Central Park ablaze in golds and crimsons. Elena woke me with coffee and a grin, her curls wild from sleep, proposing a run along the reservoir. To keep the fire stoked, she teased, lacing her sneakers with that playful wink that still unraveled me. At 36 now, she moved with a grace honed by yoga and our shared grief, curves softened by comfort, eyes brighter, holding stories we'd turned to strength. At 34, buzzed with energy, my frame lean from newsroom stress, short hair grown out to a tousled bob at her urging. Let yourself bloom, love. We jogged in sync, breaths puffing clouds, dodging joggers and dogwalkers. Halfway, she slowed, pulling me to a bench overlooking the water. Charlie, I've been thinking. Her tone shifted, serious under the sun. I braced. Old habit. About kids. Really? My heart stuttered. We'd danced around it since the renewal, donor searches bookmarked on laptops, but Lena's ghost had made permanence feel perilous. I'm ready if you are, I said, squeezing her hand. She leaned in, forehead to mine. Then let's leap. That leap propelled us into a whirlwind. Fertility clinics in Midtown, consultations with pokey docs in white coats, Elena's hand clammy in mine as we pored over donor profiles. Look at this one. Artist mom, queer dad. She'd laugh, but vulnerability shadowed her joy. Nights, we'd make love with intent, fingers tracing bellies, imagining life blooming. Romance infused the routine, candlelit baths post-appointments, her massaging my cramps, me reading her poetry till sleep claimed us. But kinks emerged. At a support group for queer parents-to-be, Elena confessed doubts. What if I pass on my shadows? The guilt, the running? The circle nodded, a wiry therapist interjecting, shadows make the light sweeter. I squeezed her knee under the folding chairs, pride swelling. Home. It sparked fire, her pinning me to the door, kisses bruising, bodies grinding in hallway heat. You're my light, she gasped, nails raking my back, our climax a shared shudder of release. Winter bit early, snow blanketing the city like forgiveness. Elena's cycle synced with hope, insemination scheduled, our brownstone a nest of charts and chamomile. I covered a series on LGBTQ+ rights, interviewing activists who'd fought for marriage equality, their stories mirroring ours. Love wins when you fight dirty, one grizzled vet quipped. Inspired, I penned an op-ed tying it to Lena's legacy, mental health in queer media, Elena's edits sharpening it to a blade. Then, the call, positive test. Elena's whoop echoed through the kitchen, pea stick waving like a flag. We danced, clumsy and tear-streaked, collapsing into giggles on the tile. Our little scoop, I murmured, kissing her navel. That night, lovemaking was reverent, slow strokes, her atop me, hips rolling like waves, whispers of mama sealing our bond. Pregnancy unfolded in tender drama. Elena's glow warred with nausea, me playing nurse with ginger tea and foot rubs. We announced at a holiday potluck, queer family toasting with eggnog, to the tiniest reporter. But beneath joy, tension simmered. A ultrasound scan revealed twins, girls, and Elena's face clouded. Two? Like the loves I've lost track of. I held her in the dim room, machine humming.
No.
These are ours, fierce, like their moms. Spring brought blooms and burdens. Elena's belly swelled, her freelance gig slowing, while I juggled deadlines. One storm last night, contractions faked us out, false labor, panic spiking. In the ER, monitors beeping. She gripped my hand. Promise me, Charlie, if something happens. I silenced her with a kiss, fierce. Nothing does. We're unbreakable. Hours later, home safe, we made love softly, her on side, my hand cradling the bump, feeling kicks like Morse code. We're here. As due date neared, Elena's essay sequel dropped, a memoir excerpt on redemption, dedicated to C and our leaps. It went viral, panels beckoning, but she deferred. Family first. Romance peaked in stolen moments, park picnics, her reading baby names aloud, Luna for Lena's light, Harper for the grit. Sex evolved, spooning intimacies, oral worship that left her moaning into pillows, our connection electric despite the changes. Labor hit at dawn, midsummer heat wave. The cab to the birthing center crawled through traffic, Elena's breaths ragged, my mantras steady. You're a warrior. Hours blurred, sweat, screams, Dr. Singh coaching, our therapist moonlighted. First came Luna, tiny fists flailing, then Harper, a mirror cry. Elena, exhausted and ethereal, cradled them, our storytellers. In the haze of new motherhood, love deepened. Sleepless nights rocked in tandem, Elena nursing while I paced with bottles, our eyes meeting over downy heads, gratitude wordless. Drama flared in small ways, colic cries piercing quiet, doubts whispering, am I enough? But we'd counter with touch, fingertips linking in the nursery dark, quickies in the shower, water cascading like applause. By fall, twins cooed, our rhythm found. Elena resumed writing, me scaling back for dad duty, though butchy, I rocked the carrier. A neighborhood block party celebrated their 6 months, queer neighbors grilling, tots tumbling. There, Elena pulled me aside under string lights. You saved us, Charlie. From the rooftop's shadow to this light. Kisses followed, sweet and sure, the world fading to our pulse. Yet echoes lingered. A letter from Lena's sister arrived, forgiveness extended, a photo enclosed, young Elena and Lena, arms linked at a pride march. We framed it in the nursery caption, Roots of Our Rainbow. It humanized the ghost, turning tragedy to tapestry. Winter's end brought renewal. Twins' first steps, wobbly toward us, cheers echoing. Elena's book deal landed, our saga, anonymized but true. Signing night in a Soho loft, she dedicated it to me on stage. To Charlie, who caught me mid-fall. Applause roared, but her gaze anchored, love's steady byline. Life unfolded in chapters unwritten. Playgrounds, preschool finger paints, date nights squeezed between sippy cups. Intimacy evolved, post-bedtime romps, toys rediscovered, laughter mingling with moans. Drama came in growth pains, twin tantrums testing patience, Elena's sabbatical dreams clashing with my career climb. We'd argue, hot and honest, then reconcile in bed, bodies bridging gaps, hearts sinking anew. At 5, the girls knew their mom's story in snippets. Aunt Lena flew to the stars, but she sent you to us. Pride swelled at school gates, hand in hand, a family forged in fire. Elena's TEDx talk on queer resilience drew tears, mine on media ethics nods. Together, we volunteered, suicide hotlines, mentoring young reporters, Lena's light refracted. 10th anniversary loomed, Catskills calling. We drove up, girls chattering in back seats, cabin waiting. Vows renewed by the lake, twins flower girls giggling. That night, after bedtime tales, Elena and I slipped out, moonlit dock, wine shared. From rooftop ruin to this, she murmured, hand on mine. Lovemaking under stars, urgent and eternal, waves lapping rhythm. Back home, legacy built, girls penning first articles, family hikes echoing our youth. Shadows?
Mia footnotes.
Our love, kaleidoscopic, kicking, proved, from leaps come landings, soft and sure. Years folded like pages in a well-loved book, the girls growing into echoes of us. Luna with Elena's curls and quiet fire, Harper my sharp gaze and boundless energy. At 8, they cornered us in the kitchen one Easter morning, baskets overflowing with chocolate eggs, demanding the full rooftop story. Elena and I exchanged glances over pancakes, syrup-sticky forks paused. "It's about love," I started, voice steady, the kind that hurts but teaches. Elena took over, weaving Lena's tale with grace. No gore, just a woman who flew too close to her son, leaving gifts in her wake. The twins listened wide-eyed, then hugged us fierce. "You're our heroes, moms." That vulnerability cracked open deeper talks. Elena confessed residual guilt in therapy, waves crashing unbidden, especially on anniversaries of the jump. I'd hold her through, our lovemaking a balm. Slow, exploratory, rediscovering curves softened by time, her moans a mantra of presence. At 43, I felt the pull of legacy, gray threads in my bob, laugh lines framing eyes that saw clearer. Elena, 45, radiated, silver streaks in her waves like comet tails, body a testament to births and battles. Career arcs intertwined. My Herald promotion to features editor meant leading teams, mentoring queer voices stifled by the old guard. Elena's memoir spawned a speaking circuit, her voice amplifying lesbian narratives in podcasts and panels. Drama brewed at a conference in D.C. Protests outside, slurs hurled at our hotel. Inside, Elena keynote on resilience, but post-talk a heckler cornered her. "Your resilience killed my friend," glorifying tragedy. It was Lena's ex again, face twisted. Elena froze, me stepping in. "Grief doesn't give you license to wound." Security intervened, but homebound on the train, Elena unraveled. Was she right? Am I profiting off pain? We argued that night. Harsh words over takeout lo mein, plates pushed aside. "You're healing, not exploiting." I snapped. She shot back. "Easy for you, the fixer." I lived it. Fury peaked, doors slammed, but midnight brought reconciliation. Her knocking soft, me pulling her in. Apologies dissolved in kisses, clothes shed in hallway haste, bodies colliding on the rug, raw, reclaiming, nails and nectar marking peace. Dawn found us spent, tangled, her head on my chest. "Sorry, love." Shadows creep. Summer offered reset. Family road trip to Chicago, Lena's old haunt. The girls romped in Millennium Park, bean sculpture selfies beaming, while Elena and I traced ghosts, her old studio now a coffee shop, walls papered with their byline clippings. At a dive bar theirs, she ordered whiskeys toasting, to fires banked, not quenched. We shared stories with the bartender, a young queer with tattoos, his eyes lighting. "Y'all are legends." Home in the Airbnb, lovemaking echoed youth, against windows overlooking the lake, her cries muffled in pillows, my hands worshipping scars of stretch marks and time. Fall brought harvest, Luna's piano recital, Harper's soccer goals, our brownstone a hub of chaos and cheer. But tension simmered, Elena's book tour clashing with my deadline crunch, date nights deferred. One rain-soaked evening, she packed for Boston, frustration flaring. "I need space to breathe, Charlie, not just playhouse." The door clicked shut, leaving silence thick as fog. I paced, ghosts stirring, echoes of her post-Lena flight. Calls went to voicemail. Worry not. 2 days in, a midnight knock, Elena, drenched, suitcase abandoned. "I couldn't," she gasped, collapsing into arms. The road. It's Lena's echo, chasing alone. We tumbled to bed, wet clothes peeling, bodies frantic, her straddling me, hips grinding with desperate rhythm, tears salting skin. "Stay," I begged, climax crashing like thunder. "Always," she vowed, collapsing spent. Winter deepened bonds. Holidays with the extended queer clan, adopted aunts, bio siblings, filled the apartment with laughter, lax, and carols. The girls gifted handmade coupons, one free cuddle from Luna. Elena and I stole moments, midnight kitchen dances to old jazz, her swaying pregnant-like despite empty arms, my hands on hips guiding. Sex was seasonal spice, under twinkling lights, oral languid by the tree, her gasps harmonizing with ornaments jingle. Spring's thaw mirrored thaw within. Elena launched a nonprofit, Lena's Light, funding mental health for queer journalists. Launch gala at the Herald, rooftop mercifully grounded, drew donors and dignitaries. She spoke, voice breaking on from fall to flight, me beaming from the front row. Post-speech, in a quiet alcove, celebration ignited, her pinning me to velvet curtains, fingers deft under skirt, my bites stifling moans. "My warrior," I whispered, knees buckling in release. Girls turned 10, a milestone bash in the park, piñatas bursting, cakes towering. Amid chaos, Elena pulled me to the swings. A decade of us, post-shadows. Grateful. Kisses swung gentle, world blurring to creak and breeze. Yet drama danced eternal. A tabloid scoop, anonymous leak on Lena's suicide-pact rumor, hit, dredging doubt. Elena spiraled, therapy urgent. What if they blame me? Dr. Singh countered. Truth is your shield. We co-wrote a response, joint statement, unapologetic. Love's losses shape us, but don't define. Backlash faded to support, our family tighter. Summer camp for the twins left us empty nesters brief, rediscovering youth in empty rooms. Date to Coney Island, cotton candy kisses, Ferris wheel confessions. You're my thrill, still. Boardwalk romps led home to marathon lovemaking, positions poured from old books, laughter lacing ecstasy, bodies slick and sure. Fall equinox, Elena surprised with Tuscany, girls with grandparents, us wandering vineyards, Chianti loosening tongues. In a sun-dappled villa, she proposed again. Elope? Just us forever too. We did, barefoot on olive groves, vows in Italian whispers. Nights blurred in silk sheets, tantric explorations, her quivering under tongue, my peaks in her embrace. Return brought grounded bliss. School runs, PDA battles, bedtime stories laced with ethics. Drama and dozes, Luna's first crush, a classmate, sweet and fumbling. Harper's scraped knees from tree climbs. We'd parent tag, then tag team love. Quickies in laundry folds, her bent-over washer, vibrations humming harmony. At 50, Elena's waves fully silver, my bob cropped short again, Butch Redix. We hiked the Appalachian snippet, backs aching but spirits soaring. Summit picnic, she leaned on me, from Manhattan ledges to these heights. Love-making intent, zipped tight, stars winking approval. Legacy rippled, girls' college-bound dreams, Lena's light expanding nationally. A documentary offer. Our story, warts and wonders. We greenlit, filming raw, rooftop recreations grounded. Twin interviews gushing, moms are magic. Finale framed in quiet, 20th renewal, Catskills cabin snowed in. Girls, now women surprised us videos from afar, toasts virtual. Alone by fire, Elena in my lap. One leap, endless landings. Kisses kindled to flame, bodies knowing every scar, every sigh. Climax crested soft, souls entwined. Our tale? Not headlines but heartbeats, lesbian love's epic, kinky, kinetic kind. From rooftop rupture to rooted radiance, we proved, shadows yield to dawn. Decades distilled to essence, the brownstones sagged under memories, crayon walls repainted, but ghosts of giggles lingered. Luna and Harper, now 18, jetted to colleges. Luna to Columbia Journalism, Poetic Justice. Harper to NYU Film, chasing stories through lenses. Empty nests echoed, Elena and I navigating the quiet like new lovers, rediscovering silences, filled with glances. At 52, my frame held wiry strength from spin classes, buzz cut reclaimed for its edge. Elena, 54, moved with matronly poise, silver mane a crown, curves embraced in flowing dresses that whispered of adventures past. First week's solo stretch surreal. Mornings, coffee for two felt ample. Evenings, we cooked elaborate, paella simmering, wine poured with toasts to the girls' empty chairs. Romance reignited in absence, her surprising me at the office with lunch, stolen kisses in supply closets, my hand slipping under hem for teasing grazes. Home, love-making marathon, entire weekends abed, exploring with toys dusted off, her gasps echoing vacant halls, my peaks in her command. Drama stirred subtly. Luna's freshman call, homesick tears over a breakup, her first girl love, tender and true, pulled at heartstrings. Mom, Charlie, how do you know Elena was it? I chuckled, sharing our Hell's Kitchen spark. Elena eavesdropped, joining to add. Felt like coming home. It bonded us triply, video dates becoming ritual. Girls' dorm chaos backdrop to our kitchen tableaus. Elena's nonprofit boomed. Lena's light chapters in 10 cities, scholarships named for Voss. A gala in LA tempted, but jet lag woes nixed it. Instead, virtual fireside chats with grantees, her passion undimmed. I guest-edited a Herald special. Queer elders, tales of triumph, profiling couples like us, resilient, raw. Backlash minimal, praise pouring, one reader emailed. Your words healed my rooftop scare. Autumn leaves mimicked our silvering. Hikes in the Palisades, hands linked, creaky knees no deterrent. One trail, Elena paused, breath short. Charlie, checkups loom. Time's ticking. Health scares loomed unspoken since her aunt's cancer whisper last year. We vowed annuals together, holding in sterile waits, her jokes diffusing dread. If chemo, I'll rock the bald look better than you. Winter wrapped us cozy. Holiday cards from the girls. Luna's sketched pride flags. Harper's short film link our love story, animated whimsy. Family Zoom crackled with cheer. Toasts to empty but full. Post call. Elena dimmed lights, pulling me to the rug. Dance love. Slow sway to Billie Holiday. Bodies close, led to floor love. Her atop, rhythm vinyl smooth, climaxes crooning soft. Spring bloomed challenges. Elena's mammogram flagged, a shadow, benign they swore, but biopsy scheduled. Waiting nod, I cooked her favorites, massaged temples, made love with urgency, fingers delving deep, her arches affirming life. Results clear, relief crashed, tears in the parking lot, kisses salt slick under rain. Dodged another leap, she laughed, but eyes held fear's afterimage. Summer sojourned us to Provincetown, queer haven, bikes rented, beaches basking. Dyke March vibes pulsed, us arm in arm among rainbow revelers. Nights in B&B, love-making ocean roared. Strap-on adventures on four posters, her cries muffled in goose down, my thrusts tidal. Eternal tide, she panted, post-glow. Fall ferried transitions. Girls home for break, apartments toured, Luna's tiny walk-up, Harper's loft share. Pride swelled, but pangs too. They're flying, Elena murmured over packing boxes. Send-off brunch bittersweet, hugs lingering. Alone again, we reclaimed space, yoga retreats, her flexibility inspiring bedroom bends, my strength lifting her to new heights of pleasure. Drama deepened with legacy. Lena's sister visited, now aunt to none, but kin by choice. Over tea, stories swapped. She be proud, she said, gifting a locket with Lena's photo. Elena clasped it, tears. Proud of forgiving? Nod yes. That night, locket cool on skin, love-making layered memory, gentle, ghostly, grounding in us. Winter's Hush hosted reflection. Elena's second memoir brewed, leap years, loving post-loss, drafts read aloud by fire, my edits tender. One chapter gutted. Charlie caught me midair. Publishing buzz built, but she paused. For us, not spotlight. I kissed her knuckles. Spotlight's yours, I'm the audience. Spring's renewal. 25th anniversary, Napa Valley. Vineyards vast, Cabernets crimson. Hot air balloon dawn, world below tiny, her hand in mine. From skyscrapers to skies. Landing picnic, vows whispered. Endless us. Vineyard villa nights. Oil massages melting to mutual massage. Tongues tracing vines of veins. Orgasms vintage rich. Return rippled ripples. Girls graduated. Luna's ink-stained cap. Harper's reel rolling credits on thesis film, featuring our cameos. Commencement tears, toasts. To stories starting. Job hunts launched them. Luna to NPR, Harper indie directing. Our nest? Perch for fledglings returns. Summer scandal skimmed. Tabloid redux, twisting Lena's doku into tragic triangle. Elena fumed, me drafting denial. Public shrugged, but private stung. Bed cold one night, her tossing. Morning mended, coffee truce, leading to kitchen counter-passion. Her perched, legs wrapped, my devotion devouring doubts. Fall foliage framed family fusion. Girls brought partners home. Luna's poet girlfriend, shy smiles. Harper's cinematographer, bold laughs. Dinner chaos charmed. Elena's roast perfect, my toasts tipsy. Post-feast, couples scattered, us in study. Our legacy lives, she said, hand on heart. Love-making library lit. Bookshelves witness to slow, scholarly seduction. Pages turning with our sighs. Winter warmed with wisdom. At 55, I mentored interns. Elena keynote TED. Love's long shadow. Illuminating loss. Viral views, but home her harbor. Baths drawn. Bubbles bursting under caresses. Her surrender sweet. Spring spark. Decision dawns grandkids? Soon, girls teased. We prepped hypotheticals. Nursery nixed for travel fund. Tuscany redux. Pasta-making classes, her flower-dusted cheeks kissed. Roman ruins, Colosseum echoes of our fights, now footnotes. Drama dance light, Harper's script sale, our story optioned, tasteful. Auditions amped, us consultants. Keep the heart. Premiere night, red carpet nerves, tears at credits. Based on fierce loves. Legacy layered, Lena's light global, us patrons eternal. A wing named Marquez Gray. Plaque. From fall to flight. Final frame. 30th renewal. Beachside Maui. Waves wetting us anew. Girls with loves. Witnesses. Lays lush. Vows sunset sealed. Through every shadow, your light. Honeymoon hut. Love-making lunar. Tides timing thrusts. Her waves crashing mine. Ages advanced, but ardor abided. 60s silver, joints creaky, but cruises claimed. Alaska fjords, her bundled in my parka, kisses fogging glass. Sex simplified, spoons and sighs, but soul deep. 70s brought benches. Park perches, grandkids tumbling, Luna's twins, poetic. Elena's hand frail but firm. Full circle, Charlie. Last leap? Not feared. Planned, together. Our epitaph? Unwritten, but whispered. Lesbians loving loud, from rooftop rupture to radiant repose. Value? Human. Love heals, holds, haunts, but never hinders flight. Time's tapestry frayed gently, threads of silver dominating our weave. At 62, Elena's gait slowed, cane a companion on brownstone stairs. But her wit sharpened, quips over crosswords, clue me in love. I, 60, managed the Herald's digital pivot, remote mostly, freeing afternoons for her doc appointments. The girls, now 30-something anchors, Luna editing podcasts, 2 kids underfoot, Harper directing Sundance Darlings, wife and toddler in tow, shuttled visits, filling voids with babble and blocks. Empty nest evolved to grand nest, weekends commandeered by Mini MS, Luna's boy with my eyes, girl Elena's echo. We'd bake, scones lopsided, giggles gluing crusts. Elena, enthroned in armchair, directed, More flower, less fuss. Her stories entranced. Rooftop tales tamed to fables, morals. Love lifts, even from lows. Post-nap, when tots slumbered, we'd steal porch time. Her head on my shoulder, sunset, painting us gold. Our sequel's sweeter, she'd murmur, fingers laced. Romance refined to ritual. Mornings, tea tray to bed. Her smile sunrise. Evenings, massages mutual, oils warming aches, hands wandering to familiar fires. Lovemaking lingered, positions practical, but passion pure, her gasps guiding my touch, climaxes cresting calm, like tides trusted. Drama-dotted domesticity. Elena's hip replacement loomed, surgery sweet stark, me pacing hall. Pre-op, she gripped. If I don't wake. I hushed. You will, poet. Our verse unfinished. Recovery raw, pain pills blurring, my sponge baths tender. First post-op step, her wince one triumph. For you, warrior. Rehab romps? Chaste, but charged. Kisses building to bedroom reunions, her atop pillows, slow grinds grateful. Summer sojourns shifted. Adirondacks cabin, less hike, more hammock. Grandkids splashed creeks, us shaded. Elena's tales tide pooling. One dusk, fireflies flickering, she confessed. Aches not just bone, Charlie. Missing Lena sharpens sometimes. I nodded, no jealousy, time tempered to tribute. She gifted us depth, I said, pulling her close. Night love by lake, blanket cocoon, fingers feathering folds, her sighs starlit. Fall's harvest hosted Harvest Home. Girls orchestrated Legacy Weekend, Brownstone Bunkin, archives unearthed. Shoebox now museum, Lena's letters laminated lessons.
Hyper filmed oral histories, lånet transkribet.
Over pie, Elena spoke unfiltered. Guilt was glue once, now grace. Tears collective, hugs healing. Post-kids bedtime us alone. Proud, she asked. My answer? Lips on neck, leading to languid liaison. Oral odyssey, her quivers quelling quiet. Winter's woolens warmed woes. Flu season felled Elena, cough hacking me chicken soup sentinel. Delirium dredged dreams. Lena, wait, she mumbled. I soothed. Here, love. Me. Recovery rallied romance. Post-fever flush. Her skin fever-hot under sheets. My mouth mapping mercy. Release rinsing remnants. Spring stir. Book tour for Elena's finale. Shadows to sonnets. Virtual mostly, but NYC launch packed. Queer icons toasting. Girls emceeing. Post-reading. Green room glow. Her in my arms. Your edits eternal. Cab home. Hands hasty under coats. Apartment arrival avalanche. Doorway devouring. Clothes corridor cascaded. Bed a beacon of bliss. Drama danced in diagnosis. My echocardiogram flagged arrhythmia. Ticker tricky. Elena's role reversed. Her cane clicking beside me in cardio consults. We'll sync beats, she joked, masking fear. Meds mended, but monitors mandated. Nights, her palm on chest, counting comforts. Intimacy adapted, sides, her whispers wing beats to my heart's flutter. Summer serenity. Cape Cod cottage, grandkids glee grounding. Beach books buried in sandcastles, Elena's naps noon long. Evenings dune walks, waves whispering wisdom. One squall, sheltering rock, she leaned. Time's thief, but ours. Love lagoonlit, tides teasing toes, then higher, her hand in swimsuit, my moans merging with surf. Fall frenzy, Harper's Oscar nod, short on queer elders us extras.
La hound jetlag head joy, red carpet reunions, after party toasts.
Wind hooped worldwide. Home. Champagne spilled in celebration sex, bubbly on breasts, licks lapping libations, laughter-laced orgasms. Winter wrapped wonders. At 65, Elena's light gala virtual, us hosts, donations dazzling. Post-stream, pajamas party, popcorn and passion, her straddling sofa, rhythm remote-free. Spring spark, vow renewal micro, brownstone backyard, girls officiating, grandkids ring bearers, vows veiled, through ticks and talks, tethered. Reception revelry, cake crumbs, dances doting. Master sweet midnight, candles casting caresses, toys timeless, her peaks poetry. Drama deepened, Luna's divorce, marriage mismatched, kids caught. We flew support, hugs hangerlong, talks tear-tracked. Elena's wisdom wove. Leap again, love. Home healing, her holding me. Our girls grit, yours. Summer Sabbath, Iceland auroras, northern lights lovelit. Geysers gushing, her gaspic greens. Magic mirrors us. Hot spring soak, steam-shrouded seduction, water-waiting waves, climaxes geothermal. Fall's flourish, memoir audiobook, Elena's voice velvet, my narration nods. Launch listening party family feedback fond. Winter's whisper, health harmonies, my pacemaker ping, her joints juiced. Therapy tandem, aging's art, Dr. Singh smiled. At 68, Elena's edit. Final draft donated. Lena's light library. Ceremony quiet, us quiet quilling plaque. Dramas denouement. Harper's baby, our fourth grand, born breech but bold. Hospital vigil, Elena's lapel pin pride. Cycle spins. Summer solstice. Solstice supper, stars summoning stories. Love lunar, meadow mattress, constellations charting curves. Fall's farewell touch, girls podcast series, our echoes edited eternal. Winter's warmth, 35th anniversary, hearth hot, vows vapor, shadows shed, shine shared. Legacy's lullaby, love's ledger balanced, kisses cashed, climaxes currency. From fatal fall to familial firmament, we wove worth, women loving wholly, humanely, heroically. Ages accumulated like awards on mantles, dusty, dear. 70 crept sly, Elena's cane now constant companion, her steps a slow waltz through brownstone halls. 68, navigated newsroom retirement with grace, consultant now, op-eds occasional, freeing Fridays for farmers' markets, her arm looped in mine as we haggled herbs. Grandkids orbited orbits wide, Luna's teens testing tattoos and tempers, Harper's tyke toddling tales on set. Nest not empty, but expansive, visits vortexed, voices vivifying. Elena's days dimmed to dozes, but delights dotted. Audiobook narrations for granddaughters, her voice velvet over villains vanquished. Read fierce like Lena, she'd urge, eyes twinkling. Romance ripened rarefied. Afternoons, sunroom soirees, tea steaming, tales tumbling. Her hand in mine, tracing tattoos faded. Your ink, my indent. Evenings evolved elegant, baths binomial, bubbles bridging bones, my sponges soaping softness. Lovemaking lyrical, languid lapse, her sighs symphonies, climaxes crescendoing calm, connection cosmic. Drama distilled domestic. Elena's cataract cloud, surgery sharp, me map reader post-op, guiding groceries by glow. Worlds washed new, she marveled, colors keen. Recovery romped restrained, eyeshade shed, her sight savoring my skin, fingers following fancy to folds familiar. Summer simmer, Berkshire's B&B, grandkids glee in gazebos. Elena's lap legend land, story spun. Mom's rooftop, a rocket to us. Picnics punctuated, her picnic perfect prose picnicking prose. Fall's fanfare, Luna's wedding, poet bride, park pavilion. Elena's toast trembled true, love leaps lakes, not ledges. Vows vicarious, our eyes entangled. Reception reel, Harper's camera capturing Kane's clinking glasses. Hotel haven, hushed harmony, bed beckoning, her body buoyant, my mouth meandering meridians, moans moonlight mellow. Winter's weave, wide out wonder, snowed in snuggles. Grandson sledding, Elena's cheers croaky. Post-play, cocoa caresses, mugs steaming, lips lingering. Night's Nestle, flannel folds, her form folding mine, friction faint but fervent, release rippling radiant. Spring surge, my vertigo vortex, spin sudden, step stumbling. Elena's anchor absolute, PT partner, lean love. Balance beamed back, her balance bolstered by my brace. Intimacy inverted, me meditative, her hands healing hips, peaks pulsing patient. Summer symphony, Savannah squares, Spanish moss murmuring memories. Carriage clips, her head on shoulder, southern shadows, ours northern. Riverboat revel, jazzing joints, dancing dockside, dips delicate. Sweet seduction, balcony breeze, her bare beneath blanket, my whispers wooing waves, orgasm ocean opened. Falls flourish, Harper's Emmy, episode elderqueer, us an audience awe. Acceptance aria, for mom's manuscript. Afterglow airline, home haze, jet jostled joy, bed's balm, her hailing hands, my harbor, climaxes cloud cushioned. Drama's drift, Elena's embolism scare, clot caught, hospital hum. Me monitor minder, her humor halting. Clip my wings? Crisis crested clear, rehab rhythm, walks wobbly, winds whispered. Homecoming heat, sheet sanctuary, slow strokes salving souls, her surrender sacred. Winter's window, window watching whirligigs, wind whittling willows. Granddaughter's ballet, Elena's applause arthritic. Post pirouette, parlor passion, cushions cradling, caresses catalogued, ecstasy etched eternal. Spring's seedling, community garden gift, Lena's light plot, us plotters. Seeds sown stories, from ashes, asters. Weeding waltzes, her hoe humorous. Harvest hug, veggies victorious, kitchen kink, counter confessions, her perched, produce playful, peaks produce proud. Summer sojourn, Seattle soak, sound serene. Fairy floats, her face fog fond. Pacific peace. Pike Place pinches, fish fling flirt. In intimacy, rain rhythmed, her rain slick skin, my raincoat role play remnant, release rivulet rinsed. Falls fest, twins 30th, bash boisterous, brownstone bursting. Elena's MC elegant, toasts textured. Post-party purge, us purging pillows, laughter lace loving, limbs lax, love's loop luminous. Winter's wick, Camelot carols, grandkids chorus. Elena's alto aged, but ardent. You'll log yarn. Fire from fall. Bedroom blaze, firelight flickering forms, fingers fanning flames, finale feathered. At 72, Elena's edit essayed, final op-ed, leaps legacy. Published pride, her byline bold. Reading ritual, voice veiled, my verse voicing voids. Drama's diminuendo, my mini-stroke, speech slurred, scare swift. Elena's eloquence emergency. Talk, warrior. Therapy triumphed. Tongue-tied no more. Her healing hold. Words were ours, reclaim. Love's lexicon. Lips learning anew. Her lessons lustrous. Peaks paraphrased pure. Summer sunset. Sunset sails, San Francisco Bay. Alcatraz anecdotes, her armory arm. Prison's past. Golden Gate gaze, her gold-given grin. Yacht yawn. Stars studding, her starstruck stare, my stellar strokes, orgasm orbed. Fall's finale fan, book fest honor. Lifetime lesbians lit. Panel pensive, Elena's pearls. Love's plot twists triumph. Signing swarm, her signature shaky. Hotel hush. Pen poised on skin, ink intimate, climaxes calligraphed. Winter's warmth waning, warmth wrapped, woolen worlds. Grandson's graduation, Elena's grin gummy. Post-pomp, porch ponder, full-fledged. Spring's spark dim, Elena's dementia dawn, forgetful fogs, faces fleeting. Me memory keeper. I'm Charlie, your leap catcher. Care circle convened, girls grief guarded. Days dissolved diary, photo flips, her flicker, love. Drama's dusk, diagnosis deepened, decline deliberate. Hospice horizon, but home held, hospice heart. Her haze held hints, hand squeezes, him hums. Love-making lost, but love lingered, lips light, lap sides linked. Summer's sigh, solstice silent, sun somber. Garden gapes, asters askew. Grandkids garlands, her gaze gone. Falls fade, foliage fallen, her form frail. Last lucid, Charlie. Rooftop. I whispered. We landed, love. Soft. Winter's whisper end, breath brief, bed bittersweet. Girls gathered, goodbyes gasped.
Elena exhaled, eternal.
After. Ashes Adirondacks, under maples our maple vowed. Me meandering memories, manuscript mine. Legacies light, Lena's, Elena's, leaps lit lives.
Mine?
Widows weave, but whole, love's lamp undimmed, human hymn. Hold on, hearts heal highest. Solitude settled soft as snowfall, the brownstone breathing echoes, Elena's laugh in floorboards, her scent in linen closets. At 70, widowhood wrapped dry, mornings mechanical, coffee's solo stark. Girls flanked frequent, Luna's lunches, Harper's halls of home-cooked, grandkids glee gluing gaps. Grandma Charlie's castle. They'd crow, forts from furniture, my fortitude feigned in fort building. Work waned whimsical, herald homage, Gray's grace, columns on grief's grammar. Readers replied rivers. Your words widow walk me. Elena's light leaned on me, bored chair, her vision voiced vicarious. Galas ghost to her absence, but glow grew. Scholarship surged, stories spotlighted.
Romance.
Retired, but rekindled kinships. Queer widow walks in park, peers parading tales, one silver fox, Marta, sparking sparks. Coffee chats cautious, her carpenter calluses contrasting my keyboard keys. Build something, she'd banter. Kisses kindled kitchen, her pinning counters but caution curbed. Elena's echo, I'd admit. Marta nodded noble. Echoes enhance, not erase. Drama dripped daily. Luna's layoff, podcast purge, pandemic pangs, prompted pity party plot. We plotted pivots over Pinot. Right your way, I urged. Elena's ethic etched. She landed lit mag, leap lauded. Harper's hiatus, set shutdowns, honed her healing. Script on silver screens of loss, me muse. Summer salve, seashore sabbatical, grandkids grains grinding toes. Marta joined Jamboree. Sandcastles collaborative, her moat-making masterful. Evenings, bonfire ballads, her arm around shoulders shy. Bed bunked separate, but dreams danced. Elena approving, live love. Falls forge forward, therapy threading. Grief's not goodbye, counselor coaxed. I coaxed closure. Elena's urn placed, Adirondacks altar. Solo sojourn, Maples memorial. Miss you, poet. Permission? Wind whispered yes. Winters we've widened. Marta's move and murmur, trial tentative, guest room guest.
Nights nested neutral. Talks till tviligt, touches tentativa.
First full fusion, firelit fumbling, her frame firm, my form folding familiar, kisses kind, climaxes curious, connection cautious bloom. Spring sprout, grandbaby 5, Harper's girl, gap-toothed grin. Christening cheer, my god granny glow. Marta mentored, diapered duty duo. Love's lexicon lengthened, her laugh lacing loss. Drama's detour, my metastasis murmur, prostate pester, pills palliative. Marta manned monitors, girls grief grappled. Fight format, Luna lettered. Chemo chafed, but chums cheered. Walks wobbly, winds whispered. Summer summit, smoky shack, summits scaled slow. Marta's pack patient, peaks panted. Vista vow, with you worthy. Love ledgelet, cabin caresses, her curves commanding, my moans mountain melded. Falls fanfare faint, awards accrued, lifetime lit for me, Elena's echo. Podium poise. She leaped, I landed loving. Applause avalanched, Marta misty. Winter's wick, holidays hybrid, grandkids glee global via glass. Marta's matzo magic, my menorah muse. At 72, heart hiccup halted, hospital hush. Family flocked, Marta mainstay. Beat for us. Bypass bridged, bedridden bond. Her bedside ballads, my mending murmurs. Spring spark, garden gala, Lena's light lush. I keynote, knees knockless. From widow's walk to wide world. Drama's dregs, Luna's loss, miscarriage mourned. We wreathe support, walks weeping. Seed time, I soothed, Elena's ethos. Summer serenade, serenade seas, Mediterranean meander. Marta's map masterful, ports portending passion. Greek Isle idle, azure afternoons, her alabaster allure. Alcove amore, waves witnessing waves, ecstasy Aegean. Falls flourish final, Harper's heirloom, film fest favorite, leap legacy. Premiere pride, my cameo cherished. Winter's warmth, 40th from Elena, altar anniversary, ashes adjacent. Vow variant. You launched, she landed me here. Legacies loom, love's layers, lesbian, layered, luminous. Human hymn, from one wife's ex to endless embrace, value vaults, vulnerability victories, always. Twilight textured time, 70s sighing soft. Brownstone buffered by buffers, grandkids' graduations, girls' golds, Luna's Pulitzer nod, Harper's Hulu helm. Marta, now marrow melded, managed mornings, her herbal infusions infusing vigor, my vigor voiced in vows daily. Grateful, gale. 75 flickered frail, falls frequent, frame frail. Care continuum, aids assisting but autonomy ached. Elena's light lit legacy, endowment ensured, Elena etched eternal. I edited epilogue. Gray's Grace Volume 2, Grief's Grace Graft. Romance rooted resilient. Marta's massages masterful. Muscles melting, murmurs melting more. Lovemaking legacy. Lubricants liberal, positions propped, but passion peaked pristine. Her peaks my prayer, connection conduit constant. Drama's diminuendo. Dementia's dance, mine now.
Vergets fagd, fases familiar fant.
Marta memory map. Charlie coffee? Clarity cleaved. Elena's eyes. Therapy tempered, but tides turned. Summer sunset. Sunset suppers. Porch perpetual. Grand greats gumming grapes. Giggles gold. Marta's guitar strums summoning stories. Rooftop rocket? Falls fade. Festival farewell. Harper's homage screening, senior section. My monologue misty. Loved loud. Lived long. Winter's wick. Wicks waning will warmed. Family festooned. Lights lingering loss. At 78, breath briefaned. Bed bound, but buoyant. Girls gathered, grand line glowing. Marta murmured, your leap, legend. Last light, lucid lunge. Tell Elena. Landed lovely. Exhale eased, eternal. After. Ashes Adirondacks, Elena embraced. Marta mourned mutual, but moved. Your light lingers. Legacy's luminous close, from fatal fall to familial firmament, love's ledger, lesbian lore, humanely hewn, hearts hold, horizons high. Value? Victory in vulnerability, eternally.